Okay, in this video we'll be taking a look at the Living Daylights Aston Martin from the No Time to Die, the reproduction of the one that Timothy Dalton used in the Living Daylights. Okay, so here it is, nicely packaged by Corgi. Okay, I'll be comparing it with the original one that was released. Not actually coincidentally with the movie. This was released in 2001, I believe, in a Corgi Classics range. And there was also another version. I think this was 1999. There was a Corgi sort of junior version, as it were, a little one there. Okay, which has never been opened. Stays sealed in the case. It was a bit of a shame actually when the film came out that they didn't release something similar to what we had with Goldfinger, with the Aston Martin and the Spy Who Loved Me. I think if they'd added more gadgets onto this one and brought it out when the film came out, I think it would have been probably a model that we'd probably be comparing now to the DB5 and the Lotus Esprit from the Spy Who Loved Me. Okay, so let's get it out. It's a rare excursion for this. It rarely comes out. Nice image of Timothy Dalton on some background on the car in the film on the back. Okay. But, it was a lovely model. I'm of that generation where I was actually preferred to see James Bond in an Aston Martin rather than a Lotus or a BMW, heaven forbid. But so yeah, there it is. It came with a little leaflet on some of the other models of the range at that time. Sadly, it didn't come out. There wasn't, although it had artwork of pictures of Timothy Dalton and some artwork from the film. It didn't have George Lazenby in OHMSS. It wasn't the DVS that was released for that film. It wasn't actually part of this range, which was a great shame for us fans of that particular film. But this model, you can see it's great. I'm not going to get it out of its packaging, but it did have the original registration, the B549WUU, on both sides. You may be able to see it on that side as well, maybe not. As I say, the gadgets were just the outrigger skis. I'll see if I can get this to work. You press the exhaust on the back. There's one there, you can see that. And I'll see if I can get this one to work as well. Yeah. And there you are. Okay. They actually look very fragile, to be fair. I think if these were ever used in to play with, I don't think these would have survived very long in the hands of a young child. But as I say, I think there was room to have missiles personally in the front and possibly a rocket motor in the back, like in the movie The Living Daylights. They could have had a little rocket there, maybe modelled on similar to the Batmobile that was brought out in the 60s. But anyway, and it did have the roof in the film here as well, because it did start life, if you recall, as a convertible, which was a different car actually. That was a Volante, and then Q later in the film said he was going to winterize it, and we ended up with the sort of version here, because obviously convertibles aren't bulletproof. So this was for later in the film. Yeah, there's a bit more history behind it, but I won't go into too much of the detail there. Anyway, I'll put that to one side and we'll take a look at the one from No Time to Die. You are sealed. Here you are. I suppose I could just leave it in the cellophane wrapper and it'll probably just create value and last forever. So here you go. Here you go. Heart stop. Get the scissors. Oh. It's just sealed in there, being nice and protected, wouldn't it, forever. You'll never see it, but you might catch some more of its value, who knows. But you know, I'm not that big of a collector that I want to see all my collection increase in value. So I'm happy to open it and we'll have a look inside. Here we are. There we go. Okay. Alright, so I have seen some pictures of it already. There it is, looks very nice, I have to say. We're going to put a little protective glass case there. Okay, it looks much shinier, I have to say, than the original, but this could just be the fact that this one's a bit older. The colour, is it the same? I don't know, it's hard to say. I think the old Living Daylights one has more of a speckly look to it. It's lost the sort of soft top on the top there. The mouldings on the windscreen wipers do look the same as the one from the Living Daylights. So yeah, that looks like basically they've used the mould, which is fine. You know, they've used the mould from the Living Daylights, but come up with perhaps a slightly more detailed version. Just looking, comparing on the back, I think, yeah, that's pretty much the same. The original one, looking at it, actually, you probably can't see it there, but that does have, you probably can't get it on the camera, but it does have a GB sticker there on the back, which obviously would have to be UK nowadays, whereas the one from No Time to Die doesn't have that, which is probably a reflection of the movie, the one in the movie. Let's get this out. It is tied to the bottom. I will leave it tied for the time of it being. Now, does it have the skis? Probably not, but we'll press. Let's have a look. We'll press these and see if anything happens. No, nothing. I'm pressing the exhausts, and no, there's no skis on this. I do recall that on the Corgi website, I think there was going to be a box. They did advertise a box similar to this that had the Living Daylights on, and I think they were looking to release this as another Living Daylights version, as well as No Time to Die. But I haven't seen that in anyone's collection yet. If you do have one, I would be very interested in seeing one. They do have the registration there again, yeah. But yeah, this one is the same moulding as the one from the Living Daylights, but it's the same moulding, but it doesn't have any gadgets this time. Okay, which is fine. As I say, there aren't any gadgets in this in the movie. It's really just a homage to the classic Bond adventures, which is okay. But I have to admit, that is a lovely model. I'm very pleased with that. I generally don't tend to get every single model of every single car. I just tend to get what I want. I thought this was could have been an interesting variation on what it was in the original Living Daylights, and yeah, I like it. It's nice. It's nice. I think they've done the paintwork again. It's nice and shiny. See, yeah, and yeah. But just have a look at the wheels. Actually, let's see if the wheels are the same. Let's see. Yeah, I think on the original, those are the more sort of plastic casing that we're used to seeing on some of the Corgis, whereas on this it does look like they've gone for slightly more detail. I think, yeah, you can see it's sort of a spoked arrangement there. I think it is still cast again, but it's a more spoked arrangement on the wheels for the one from No Time to Die. And the steering wheel is up left, right hand side as well. Yep. So there we are. So there we are, an unboxing of the No Time to Die Aston Martin V8 from No Time to Die, and I'm very pleased. It did come, I did order it with the new DBS from On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which you can still see is sealed, and I will be having a closer look at this in due course as well. Okay, but anyway, I'm delighted with my purchase. I will probably display it. I think it is in a box where I probably will be allowed to display it on the mantelpiece. It does have a lovely sort of write-up on the film there, so yeah, that should be okay. I'll find a spare shelf somewhere to put that on display. So, thank you very much for listening.